I'm here with Phillip Callow from the Jersey Brendon Stevens office. Thank you so much for hosting me today.
It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Phillip, got some questions for you. Obviously, you've been in the industry now for 30 years. You've now
40 years.
40 years. Been in Jersey 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you to Jersey?
Taxation, lack of taxation in Jersey, and also I wanted quality of life as well. Jersey is an international financial centre, an offshore centre. It's small, has a really, really good work-life balance, no long commutes. But also, being a financial centre, you're exposed to a lot of wealthy people, big businesses, big finance. So you get that combination of an easy life plus exposure to all the complex stuff that you might encounter in an industry.
And then you touched on it now, the Channel Islands. What unique thing stands out in the global aspect for the Channel Islands?
So, as I've said, they're an international financial centre, and it means that if you are running, say, an investment fund or a holding company for a business, they offer tax neutrality. So there is no taxation on those types of companies. And that is a big attractor for investment funds. And then there's a personal tax advantages as well, which attracts high net worth individuals. And it's just become one of those little havens where people gather to do business. Now there are bigger ones in terms of Luxembourg or Cayman, but Jersey and Guernsey Channel Islands are aligned with UK in terms of UK legislation, the basis of their laws, the access to the stock market in London via entities which are structured here. So all those things act as attractors for a good quantity of business.
And over those 20 years you've been in Jersey, how has the market in New Jersey evolved?
If I focus on the funds industry in particular, there's been a race between international financial centres around the world to see who can be most attractive to funds, and that's resulted in a lot of changes. You've seen funds evolving from fairly heavily regulated to much more lighter touch regulation. Funds that used to be much larger in terms of investors are now tumbling down to smaller type fund structures, private fund structures, just with the intention of enabling investment in a tax neutral way, but with the least regulation appropriate for the type of structure it actually is. So that's been a huge change.
So Jersey's been part of that.
Jersey's been part of that. Jersey's been competing with Guernsey, which is really interesting. Two islands next to one another competing.
The granite.
Yes, we discussed that today. Jersey is pink granite and Jersey is grey granite, strangely for two islands, neighbouring islands. But we've also been competing against Luxembourg and Cayman and other jurisdictions as well in the same race.
I think that's amazing. And then talking of more Stevens itself, in terms of you got to balance the heritage and obviously keeping up with the times. How do you go about that?
We've got a great foundation because the office here, Moore Stevens, have been in Jersey for 60 years, and that means we're embedded in the community. We're well known. We're an established brand here. At the same time, we've got the benefit of the more global network as well, which gives us a status, a standing in the market. It's a known brand name. You've also got, coming out of the network, you've got all the support services which help us keep track of market trends, technology trends. So we've got that balance of heritage and name which is established, plus the support from the global network. And what we find is that actually that enables us to comfortably and confidently say, we're a local business, but with a global presence. And clients like that. They like that combination of, we're not big business, we're not faceless, we're friendly local people they can see and say hi to, and our whole business is built on relationships, personal relationships, but they know we've got that whole skill support behind us.
And then, leading into that, what does culture mean for Moore Stevens in Jersey?
Culture, for any business, is really, really important. You've got to try and establish an environment in which you are encouraging clients and staff to have the same mindset, work in a similar way. And I think the benefit for me being around here for 20 years is that we've used that consistency to instill the culture. So it takes time to build, but 20 years is long enough to build a good culture. And we've built that by going out, and now we have a lot of directors doing it, talking to clients, explaining that we are a personal partner-led business, that we do offer that personal service. And going back to that point of relationships, we emphasize what that means for clients, that we're not a big faceless business, and they lean into that. And at the same time, our staff see that because we exercise that as tone from the top, which is culture filters down to them. They are comfortable now talking to clients, explaining that same basis, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because we've said this is what we're going to do, we show we're doing it, and then everyone else buys into it.
What are the human touches in there?
Human touches, yeah, it's hugely important. I am not a boring, grey-suited, white-haired accountant. I may look it, but I'm not. I'm very irreverent. I sit on a lot of boards, I chair a lot of boards, and sometimes people join those boards stare at me wide-eyed and aghast and say, look, how can you be like this, be chairman of the board? But I am. I tell crude jokes. I have an off-the-wall sense of humour. But that's just me. That's the personal touch. That's what you need to have. There's no point being faceless.
And where do you see the industry going in 5 to 10 years? Obviously, we've said obviously trying to keep up with the funds being as popular or as suited for the funds. Where do you see the industry going? Maybe, well, I'd say without jumping down onto the AI, but where do you see the industry as a whole going?
It's difficult not to jump down the AI route, but if I do park that to one side, there's going to be a continuation of people wanting to invest. So we're seeing private equity expanding across all markets globally, and more global is heavily involved in that in terms of we've got expertise, we've got knowledge. So they're going to need jurisdictions in which to operate, and those jurisdictions need to be nimble. They have to be able to make adjustments to respond to what the market needs. So as with almost everything, I can just see a cycle of things increasing, improving, accelerating change, because that's what we need to do. We can't be stuck in one established regime and say, this is it, this is the way we operate. We've got to respond and listen to what our customers want, what our clients want.
That's awesome. And then I think from a bit of a lighter side, advice for your younger self, if you could give younger Phillip?
I don't know. Don't navel gaze quite so much. Don't worry about the things that aren't worth worrying about. I think when we're young, we all care what people think about us. We're trying to make an impression on people around us, our friends, our potential partners. But when you look back, none of that matters. And believe in yourself, don't care what other people think. Once I actually grasped that and realized that, my career accelerated because I wasn't constantly worrying all the time. I was just, this is me, and people will like me or they won't. If they like me, I'll do business with them, I'll work with them, my career will develop with them. If they don't, well, there are 8 billion people in this world. I don't necessarily need 7.98 billion of them to worry about me.
That's awesome. And then, being 40 years in the business, what keeps you motivated?
I'm just still enthusiastic about change. I mean, we did agree to park AI,
yes.
But things like AI. So in my career, when I started out, everything was done on paper. Yeah. We had 16-column analysis paper. There were no computers. People were adding things up in their heads. They had big calculators on their desk. But I've seen technology come and infiltrate and permeate our business and what we do. And then I've seen most recently AI. 10 years ago, I was attending conferences where they were talking about automation, robotics, getting rid of jobs. It's kind of happened, but not to the degree they predicted. The same thing's happening with AI. I don't necessarily see that AI will be as impactful as people suggest, but it keeps me enthusiastic because I can see where we can potentially go with this. And yeah, I wake up every morning thinking, well, what can we do now? And it's that kind of enthusiasm which just drives me forward. And I'm full of energy and enthusiasm for that every single day.
Well, there's going to be lots of AI at the EU conference, so you're going to be lots of motivation there.
Oh yeah, you watch me. You can't take the smile off my face during that conference.
And then, obviously, I heard you're a little bit of a foodie. Enjoy your cooking. What's your signature dish?
I like a simple steak. I like cooking a simple steak well. One of the things I really enjoy is you get a group of people together, you're cooking for them, you're making steak, and they all want their steaks done differently. Yes. And then the challenge as a cook, as a chef, is can you deliver those steaks well done, those medium well, those medium rare, and can you deliver on that? And that's timing, precision, all the things that actually might be skilled in auditing as well.
And your favorite motorbike you've ever ridden?
I have a 20-year-old BMW R1200 GS. It was a special limited edition when it came out. I love it to death. They brought out newer ones, but actually it's great to ride around on. It's big, it's comfortable, it's bold, it's loud, it's me.
Lovely. And then, who do you support in the rugby?
Just generally England. I was brought up in Bristol, have a great rugby team. I spent my early 20s going to watch Bath play and going out with the players late at night, a place called the Late Supper Club, which was really a lot of fun. But I try to watch England play. It's difficult when they play South Africa.
Yeah.
Let's not hark back to the last World Cup. Yeah, let's not do that. The final kick of the game. But yeah, I find rugby is a great game. It's a team game. It's played in the right spirit, and there's so much we can learn from how those players engage with their task, their job of being rugby players, and the way we should do that with our work as well.
Last question: is England bringing it home from the World Cup soccer?
I would like to think so. I do still remember England's last win. So 1966, yes. I was around. I remember it being in black and white on the television. 60 years of hurt. I'd love to see us bring it back again in 2026.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Brendon.